The workshop was silent, except for the faint crackling of wires and the smell of burnt metal. In the middle of the room, hunched over a cluttered workbench, sat a man with a tired but determined look in his eyes. His clothes were stained, his hands rough with blisters, but his spirit unyielding. That man was Thomas Alva Edison, and the world knows him today as the inventor of the electric light bulb. But the world rarely remembers how long and painful his journey was, how many times he failed, and how often he was told to quit. His story is a timeless reminder that true greatness belongs to those who refuse to give up. A difficult beginning. Thomas Edison wasn't born into privilege or comfort. Born in 1847 in Ohio, he was the youngest of 7 children. As a child, Edison was curious, always asking questions and tinkering with objects. But in school, his teachers found him troublesome. He was slow at learning the traditional way and often distracted. One teacher even told his mother, "Your son is too stupid to learn anything." Most children would have been broken by such words. But Edison's mother, a strong woman, refused to accept that label for her child. She pulled him out of school and decided to teach him at home. That act of love and belief planted the first seeds of Edison's future success. He learned not to accept the world's opinion of him. A restless spirit, Edison grew into a restless teenager, always experimenting. He worked as a telegraph operator and spent his nights reading scientific books. But he wasn't satisfied with simply earning a living. He wanted to change the world. He once said, "I never did a day's work in my life. It was all fun." But fun for Edison meant endless failures, broken machines, and sleepless nights. The dream of light in. The late 1800s, cities were dark, relying on gas lamps and candles. Electricity was being explored, but no one had created a practical, long-lasting light bulb. Many scientists had tried and failed. Edison took it as his mission. "I will make electric light so cheap that only the rich will burn candles." With this dream in mind, he set up his laboratory at Menlo Park, and thus began one of the most exhausting experiments in human history. The failures, Edison and his team tested thousands of materials to find the right filament for the bulb. They tried cotton, linen, different metals, even hair. Each attempt ended in disappointment. Bulbs burned too fast, filaments broke, or light was too dim. One of his assistants, exhausted, once said, "Mr. Edison, we have failed 2,000 times. Perhaps it cannot be done." Edison replied calmly, "I have not failed. I have just found 2,000 ways that won't work." That answer became legendary. Where others saw failure, Edison saw progress. Every mistake was a step closer to the solution. The world laughs news of Edison's obsession spread. Many newspapers mocked him, calling him foolish. Investors pulled out their money, saying the idea was impossible. Some scientists publicly declared, "If Edison thinks he can create a light bulb that works, he's wasting his time." But Edison didn't listen. He once said, "Our greatest weakness lies in giving up. The most certain way to succeed is always to try just one more time." The breakthrough, after more than 10,000 attempts, Edison finally discovered that carbonized bamboo filament could burn for more than 200 hours. In 1879, he successfully tested the first practical, long-lasting light bulb. Imagine the joy in that laboratory, the flicker of steady light shining in a dark room, the eyes of exhausted men suddenly glowing with pride, and Edison smiling, not because he had succeeded, but because he had proved that persistence defeats failure. The lessons of Edison's journey, Edison's story, is not just about inventing a light bulb. It's about teaching humanity a philosophy of life. Failure is not the end, it is information. Every failed experiment taught him what not to do. Belief is stronger than criticism. When the world mocked him, he kept moving because he believed in his dream. Persistence creates miracles. If Edison had stopped at the 100th, 500th, or even 5,000th attempt, the world might still be in darkness. A conversation with destiny. Edison was once asked by a journalist, "How did it feel to fail so many times?" He smiled and replied, "I didn't fail 10,000 times." The light bulb was an invention with 10,000 steps. That statement reflects a powerful truth. Success is never sudden. It is the result of countless small efforts, repeated day after day. Beyond the light bulb, Edison didn't stop there. He went on to invent the phonograph, motion pictures, and improved telegraphs. By the end of his life, he held more than 1,000 patents. Yet his greatest invention was not a device. It was his mindset. Never give up. The legacy today, whenever you switch on a light, you are touching the legacy of a man who refused to quit. Edison turned nights into days, made cities safer, and opened the door for modern technology. But more importantly, he taught humanity that perseverance is the light that guides us through darkness. The takeaway for Edison's life is not just history, it is a mirror for anyone struggling today. Are you failing in exams? Remember Edison's 10,000 failures. Are you facing rejection in jobs or business? Remember Sanders at 65. Are people mocking your dreams? Remember Edison ignored the world. The lesson is simple. Fall down 7 times, get up 8. Conclusion: Edison's journey to invent the light bulb is a story of resilience, courage, and an unbreakable will. It reminds us that failure is not a signal to quit, but a challenge to rise again. The glow of every bulb in our homes is a living symbol of one man's refusal to surrender. So the next time life pushes you down, remember the words of Thomas Edison. Many of life's failures are people who did not realize how close they were to success when they gave up. And then, stand up, try again, and keep moving forward. Because the greatest secret of success is this: never, ever give up.